Okie doke. Hello, everybody. If you're having a good time. I know I'm having a good time. Nice relaxing day today. A little bit of that for A lot of them are action midday. But, you know, now it's nighttime. It's time to learn. Time to, I don't fucking know. Make your brain all nice and calm and smushy and ready for sleep and stuff and whatnot. And what better way to do that than with a good old book? Last time we learned about Christopher Columbus, who sailed the ocean blue in 1492. Yeah, 1492. He's a pretty decent guy, that Columbus man, but he had a really shit life. Everybody kind of shat on him this whole time, except for the queen or something, whatever her name was. She was pretty nice to him, but apart from that, everybody kind of said, oh, he was also like really good friends with or cousins or brothers or whatever the fuck with Bartholomew Diaz, who sailed around the south of Africa. And he's kind of pissed off at Vasco da Gama for finding a sea route to India before he made it across the New World. But he didn't know it was the New World. He thought he was in India. But oh boy, was he wrong. And now we're going to learn about Balboa. Balboa is after Columbus. After Columbus is dead in the ground. He was an old man when Columbus set sail, so like it didn't take him long to die. That's you know, like in life, old people die fast. Actually, no, they die at a normal rate because they're old. Young people die fast. But we're not dying. We're learning. I'm gonna cough real quick. Okay, yeah, that was a bit more than just one cough, but you know, can't win them all, can't do them all, and that's not what we're about. So today, we're gonna learn about Balboa in the Pacific Ocean. Here we are. After the death of Columbus, many Spanish settlers came to the New World, which he had discovered. They settled in the island of the West Indies and on the mainland, bordering the Caribbean Sea. Sorry. If we look at our little map there, we'll see. This is where the Caribbean is, right where the little Florida penis is. Little piece of America. Go down there. There's the Caribbean Islands, right there. Yeah, we like the Caribbean Islands. It's a nice place. None of them had any idea of what lay beyond the shores of the New World. In a settlement on the island of Haiti, there lived a bold, adventurous young Spaniard named Nunez de Balboa. Balboa was in debt to many people. He's not a nice guy, not a very smart guy. And according to Spanish law in Haiti, he must remain on the island till his debts were paid. Balboa wished to escape and seek his fortune elsewhere. Well, maybe you shouldn't have got all those debts, Balboa. Maybe you shouldn't have done that. It's a bad mistake. One morning, seeing a ship loading supplies in the harbor, he thought of a plan of escape. The sailors were carrying barrels of bread on board ship. Sure. Into one of these, Balboa crept. Oh, he's a sneaky guy, Balboa. What a sneaky little guy. And hid. In a few hours, the ship sailed from the harbor, and the shores of Haiti were left far behind. For some days, Balboa remained hidden. At last, stiff and tired, he broke out from his hiding place and presented himself before the captain, who was so angry with Balboa that he threatened to leave the unlucky man on a deserted island. Oh shit. Yeah, I would think I'd be pretty pissed too if I had another mouth to feed when I'm on a very specific sailing expedition. However, before the captain could carry out his threat, a storm arose and the ship was wrecked. Oh shit, well, tough shit for Balboa, I guess. Balboa, with many of the other survivors, was cast ashore on a part of the mainland that he knew well. He led the party to the mouth of a river named the native Indies. The mouth of the river named by the native Indians, the Darien. Here the Spaniards decide to stay. For the land was rich and there was plenty of fresh water. So if we look over here, we can see that Balboa started up there in Haiti, and he sailed a little bit down. He sailed all the way down into Darien, the little what's this called now? Panama? Yeah, isthmus of Panama. Yeah. So like there's little what's an isthmus? That's a good question. What's an isthmus? What is an Isthmus. A narrow strip of land with sea on either side, forming a link between two larger areas of land. Okay, yeah, the Isthmus of Panama. So yeah, that's where we are, Isthmus of Panama. Because Balboa was a good leader and a brave fighter, he became the first governor of the colony. Whoa, okay, so just started a fucking colony. Whatever. Soon, okay, so I guess nobody knew about his debts. Soon he and his men began trading in gold with the Indians. He did not then know that the colony stood on the narrow neck of land, the Isthmus of Panama, which joins North and South America. It's a pretty good place to trade. Balboa was one of the few Spaniards who made friends with the native Indians instead of treating them cruelly. Yeah, that's kind of a good strat, is to be friendly with people and not, kill, maim, rape, and pillage. Not the best plan when you're in a strange land, strange new world. When the Indians learned of the Spaniards' greed for gold, they told Balboa of a great kingdom which lay across the mountains beyond the seas, where kings ate and drank from gold dishes. Ooh, is this El Dorado? One of the chiefs declared that the journey to this land would take the Spaniards only a few days. He offered to guide them across the mountains, to the sea, and to the land a few days' journey down the coast. Balboa and 200 Spaniards set out. Only a few miles could be covered each day. The journey led... Where did it lead? Through the deep swamp and the steaming tropical jungle. If you look on page 47, yes, where we are, we're on page 47 right now. You will see that Panama is just north of the equator. Yeah, so it's pretty brutally hot in there in Panama. In the rain, it's like all jungle. It's horrible. Or good, depending on what you like. But there's a lot of deadly things in the jungle. So for me, I would stay away. That's just me personally. I don't want to go into a deadly jungle and die. Okay, in this land, the air was so hot and moist that the men tired easily. Thousands of mosquitoes lived around the stagnant ponds. A great many Spaniards were bitten and fell ill with fever, caused by a germ which is carried by mosquitoes. Yeah, malaria. Was it malaria? Zika? It was something. Something was bad, not good. Yeah, it sounds like hell. The Spaniards were so eager to get the treasures that lay ahead that they left sick comrades behind to die. Woo, fuck. That's pretty brutal. That's not nice. You gotta keep your companions all good and healthy, or your adventure aren't gonna be too good. Because the real treasure is the friends we made along the way. Yeah, I love my friends. After 3 weeks of weary tramping through the hot tropical marshes, only 67 men remained alive. Of the 200 who had survived, that's horrible. That's like more than half of people died. Imagine you have like 10 people, like you like a group of 10 people. Like, hey guys, let's go drive to Chicago, and half of you and 6 of you die. No, 7 of you die on the way there. What a brutal way. What a brutal journey. Now the native guides led them up. Okay. 200. Now the native guides led them upward over hills to steep mountains. Near the top of one mountain, Balboa bade his men stop while he went on alone. From the bare peak, he gazed down on the blue surface of a vast ocean. Ooh, I think we know what that ocean is. It's the Pacific. Oh, his head's cut off. Can I? Yeah, there we are. The first sight of the Pacific. The blue surface of a vast ocean, its waves sparkling in the bright sunlight. Calling to others to join him, Balboa quickly fell to his knees and thanked God for helping to discover the great South Sea. The men set up a rough wooden cross and a pile of stones to mark the place from which they had first seen the great sea. Yeah. The Pacific Ocean is quite a beautiful sight. A lot more deadly than the Atlantic Ocean, so let's see how they take that on. Balboa, what did Balboa do? Balboa hurried down the mountain slope, across the sands, and plunged knee-deep in the blue waters. With his sword in one hand and the royal standard of Spain in the other, he claimed the sea. He claimed the whole fucking sea. Jeez, its islands and all the land around it for Spain. I don't know how well that worked for him. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of non-Spanish places there. But no, actually, most of South America is pretty Spanish. I guess he did a good job. Two canoes were hauled to the water's edge, and the Spaniards pushed off the shore. They were the first white men to sail from America on this ocean. The Indians on the coast trade gold and pearls. In return, the Spaniards give them worthless trinkets and bells. What's with the Spanish and give them crap? The Portuguese give crap, the Venetians give crap, and the Spanish give crap. That's all they do. You know, just give them something nice. You know, bells are nice. I like bells. They're nice. If for someone who's never seen a bell, it'd be pretty cool to see a bell. But once you learn that they're pretty common, it's kind of sad. Don't fuck people over when you're trading. It's bad practice. You wanna establish a good trading repertoire, so that way you know you both benefit. It's not really good to fuck over your patrons. Where was I? Oh yeah, drinks and bells. When the Indians told the white men of land to the south, which was rich in gold, Balboa was sure that it must be the land of India. Balboa returned overland to his vast. Oh yeah, so Columbus sailed to like the Bahamas and like a little bit, you know, that little area, but he didn't realize he wasn't in India. He thought this was like an Indian island on the other side of India, like on the like Cathay, like Asia, but he didn't know that it was actually just a whole new fucking continent. Giant landmass. Balboa returned overland. Balboa returned overland to his settlement at Darien, bringing with him news of the vast new ocean and the land of gold. He wished to get suitable ships to sail to this rich land. That's like a little drinking break, little drinky. Yeah. Made a second journey across the isthmus of Panama, but he found that the ships which he had brought with him were not seaworthy, and he was unable to sail to the land of gold. Aww. When are we gonna go to El Dorado? I want to go to El Dorado. Yeah, but yeah, not happening. The truth was, when he returned to the Darien, a new governor had arrived from Spain. He declared that Balboa had treated the natives cruelly. Oh, I guess, but Balboa didn't. Oh, these are fucking with Balboa. God damn, explorers can't catch a break. The truth was that the governor was jealous of the discovery which Balboa had made. Balboa was tried and executed in the marketplace. Aw, Balboa. Balboa received little honor for the great discovery which he had made. From the shore of America, he had gazed on the largest ocean in the world. He called it the South Sea. Today is known as Pacific Ocean. Yeah. Brutal sea. Chance too he had crossed America at its very narrowest part, near the place where Balboa started his settlement at Darien in the Panama Canal, which joins the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean. Since this was completed in 1914, ships sailing to the west coast of America have been able to save thousands of miles of ocean travel by taking this route. That's very true. Let's change the title now of the stream to not Balboa the Mighty Sailor, but John Cabot. John Cabot. Okay, yeah. John Cabot with a capital J and a capital C. And enters good old Canada. Yeah, done. And we're gonna follow John Cabot. Johnny Cabot. Spain and Portugal were not the only countries on the Atlantic Ocean where men sought to find a sea route to India. Seamen in England were just as eager to find such a route and to bring back spices, gems, and silks from the east. If you look at the map on the page 78, let's go to page 78. Oh, it's this map. Let's go to that map there. Yeah, it's this good guy. If you look at the map on page 78, you will see that England is to the north of Spain and Portugal. Who knew? Who knew England was to the north of Spain and Portugal? Not me, but now I do, because I learned it from the book. Because it is an island, its people have always been seafaring folk. The most important seaport in England at this time was Bristol. And where we see Bristol? Okay, it's just there. Just shoved in there, a little peak of the little bottom of England there in Bristol. Here it's not the nicest place anymore, Bristol. That's too bad. It always sucks when a city goes downhill. But what can you do? You can't really do much. Can't really do much about that. That was also the most western port in the land. In the year of 1490, there came to Bristol a merchant seaman by the name of John Cabot. Yay! That's our hero of the story. Like Columbus, Cabot was born in the Mediterranean seaport of Genoa. Ooh, he's got roots. He's got good roots. But he had spent much of his life in Venice. His main interests there were in ships and in trading with other countries. On one voyage, he had sailed to a city at the eastern end of the Mediterranean Sea, where he had traded with caravan leaders and had seen spices, perfumes, silks, and precious stones from India and Cathay. Cathay is China, by the way. They used to call it Cathay when Kublai Khan was king of Cathay, or Khan of Cathay. I would have to say. When he asked where the caravan driver had obtained these priceless riches, he replied, "We don't know, but caravans come to our home from distant countries to the east of us with this merchandise, and the merchants tell us that it is brought to them from places still farther east." These riches were in great demand in Europe, and Cabot knew that the man who discovered a new and shorter route to the east would become very wealthy. Like Columbus, Cabot believed that the earth was round, and that if he could sail westward over the Atlantic Ocean, he would reach the rich land of India and Cathay. Yeah. But he's pretty crazy because we all know the earth is flat. We're all flat earthers here. That's what we are. I'm gonna take a little drink. My mouth is freaking dry as shit. Not dry, I guess shit's wet. Dry as a Triscuit. Okie doke. Okie dokie, very chokey. Cabot had come to the port of Bristol to obtain help in carrying out his plans. He had heard that each year merchants of Bristol sent out several ships to seek a new way to the east. These ships had returned without success. It was not long before Cabot was chosen to lead such an expedition. He made 2 voyages westward, and one in 1491, the year before Columbus discovered the New World, and one in 1492. Each time, however, he failed to find a route to the east. Aww. Poor Cabot. He's full of shit. In 1493, the story of Columbus and his discovery of the Indies reached the merchants, captains and sailors in England. Henry VII, King of England, who until then had shown little interest in such ventures, now chose John Cabot to sail to all parts, countries, and seas of the east and of the west, and of the north, and to occupy all these lands for England. How are these sailors able to go there with 200 guys, be like, okay guys, you're all under English command. We own you. We own all you people who live here. And there's thousands of them. I guess guns help, and swords. Military supremacy, always the way of the world. You never escape that, you know. 1/5 of all the profits of the voyages was to be paid to Henry VII. The Bristol merchants provided Cabot with a small sailing vessel, the Matthew, and a crew of 18 sailors. For several months, Cabot was busy equipping his ship with ropes, sails, and other gear, and obtaining food and barrels of drinking water for himself and his men. Early in May 1497, Cabot, his son Sebastian, and his crew sailed from Bristol. Oh, it's never good to don't never take your son places. Keep that thing at home in case you die. It's like a clone. You want to make sure there's always one of you. It's like a failsafe. They were determined that they would find land and return with the hold of their vessel loaded with riches. As they sailed out into the Atlantic, they had to battle against strong driving winds from the west, which had held the ship back. The route which Cabot took was far to the north of the route Columbus had taken. In this part of the Atlantic Ocean, the weather was cold and the waves were rough and high. You'll see the route Cabot took on the map on page 78. Yeah. So he took Cabot Cabot took the solid line there. So his first route was the solid red line, which looks like he goes from Newfoundland all the way up to Labrador. But we're gonna find out about that later. As the little ship plowed through the mighty waves, great schools of fish swarmed around her bows. At times, it was reported that yeah, okay, we're good. We're all good. That at times it was reported that by the seamen there were so many great schools of fish swarmed around her bows. At times it was reported by the seamen there were so many that they hindered the progress of the ship. Drifting icebergs and fog caused the crew to spend many sleepless hours on watch. In early June, the shores of a barren, lonely-looking country were sighted. Cabot gave it the name Prima Vista, which means first sight. We now believe that the land discovered by Cabot was either Newfoundland or Cape Breton Island. Both nice places. If you visit Canada, you should go check out Cape Breton and Newfoundland. Newfoundland specifically, if you want to try some moose. We were talking about it during the Vikings that you could try delicious meese and moose. We now believe that the land was discovered by Cabot was either Newfoundland, but Cabot thought it was the northeastern Asia. They all think it's Asia. They all think it's fucking Asia. It's not Asia. It's not China. It's not Mongolia. It's not Russia. It's nothing. It's not South Korea. It's not North Korea. None of that stuff. But Cabot thought it was northeastern Asia. Going ashore, the sailors saw no natives, but they did find traps to catch small animals and bone needles used in making of nets. Cabot also saw trees bearing notches made by axes. White bears which ate fish, and partridges and eagles were also seen in great numbers. As Cabot traveled north in his ship along a bleak and desolate shore, probably Labrador. That's not nice. Labrador isn't desolate. It's rocky. It's not desolate. Supplies were running low, and as autumn was approaching, Cabot wisely decided to return home before the cold weather and wintry winds came. Why don't you fucking land and check out the fucking land where you saw people, maybe look for people, be like, hey, you want to trade for some gold? Which they didn't have, so maybe it was better if they went home. But actually, that's not explorers always have to go forward, except when they're gonna die. I guess they were gonna die, so maybe they made the right decision. We'll find out as we read the book. After a voyage which lasted for 43 days, that's it? That's pretty good. Matthew sailed back into the port of Bristol, where she was given an enthusiastic welcome. Henry VII was so pleased with Cabot that he gave him a present of £10 in English money and a pension of £20 a year. That must have been like millions of bucks. I know back then, like when who got that money was Vasco da Gama got like $5 million a year. It's crazy. That £10 would be worth about $1,000 today. Oh, so maybe it's not so good. One man who appears to have been jealous of Cabot remarked in his diary that honors are heaped on Cabot. He's called the Grand Admiral. He's dressed in silk, and the English run after him like madmen. Overnight, Cabot had become a great man. Next year, the king gave permission for a fleet to sail to the lands seen by Cabot. Merchants who expected great wealth from trade with Cathay helped to outfit several ships. Little is known about this second voyage, for Cabot did not keep a logbook telling of the daily happenings on board ship. But some old records tell that about 300 men sailed with Cabot on his 6 ships. That's quite a bit. It's quite a bit of ships. When Newfoundland was reached, Cabot made friends with the natives, who offered him rich furs in exchange for such trifles as bells and capes. It's always bells and capes with these guys. I'm sure it wasn't just bells and capes. I'm sure they got also beads and stuff. It's kind of shitty though. These natives wore skins of wild beasts for clothes and used bows and arrows as weapons. Yeah, well, you still use bows and arrows as weapons right now. You know, you ain't too good. You ain't much better. You know. You're not better than them. Yeah, we got flintlock match missiles, you fucking piece of shit. You got nothing. You're better bows there than you are with guns. Stupid. Dumbass. Okay, where were we? Cabot sailed to the north along the dreary coast of Labrador, where he saw enormous icebergs floating in the ocean. Then he returned south and sailed probably as far as the place where the city of New York stands today. Holy shit. You covered a lot of distance. Cabot returned to Britain with the holds of his ships filled with fish and furs. He did not receive a very warm welcome, for the merchants expected rich spices, silks, and jewels. Oh, and there's a picture of what he brought back. Let's see. Yeah, so we got like beaver pelts. Yeah, so that's a beaver purr right there, like on the little tanning thing, or yeah, tanning thing. You got foxes. Oh yeah, look, that's a skin fox. It looks like a stoat. Cabot had hoped to find gold, but the real wealth he discovered was fish and furs. Here are some of the fur-bearing animals of Canada: the beaver, the red fox, and the mink. Oh, it's a mink. Minks are very nice animals. They're very cute, but they will bite your finger off, so be careful. Don't touch a wild mink. They will bite your fingers off. Foxes too. You can be friends with them, but they're not like they're not dogs, so don't touch them. And stay away from beavers, just in general. They kind of suck. They're just shitty animals. Just stay away. Yeah. Little is known about this second voyage. Oh, I just read that. New York. Cabot returned Cabot returned to Britain with holds of a ship filled with fish and furs. He did not receive a very warm welcome. The merchants expected rich spices, silks, and jewels. In 1499, John Cabot died. Oh no, Cabot. That kind of sucks. Sorry, guy. His son Sebastian, though, see, this is why you have a son. Continue your legacy. Continue to try to find a sea route to the east. Accounts of his voyage must be taken with a grain of salt, for some of his statements were found to be exaggerated. Aww, Sebastian. Just accept that you didn't find anything cool. You can just accept it. Your life will be better that way. You are who you are, is what I say about that. Yeah, where are you, Sebastian? When we can be fairly sure, however, that he made another voyage to Labrador, and may even have entered a channel to the north of this land. In later years, he became an advisor to the other explorers. He knew the waters of the North Atlantic very well. The King of England made him Grand Pilot at a salary of £166, 13 shillings and 6 pence a year. It was Sebastian Cabot who suggested that every ship should keep a log or daily account of her course and a record of new lands visited. Yeah, it's okay. So you, Sebastian, Mr. Cabot, good on you, because now we have lots of accounts of all the different ships here, there, and there. So good on you, Sebastian. Although the Cabots did not find a route to the east, they did discover a source of great wealth for England: cod fishing off the Grand Banks of Newfoundland. Provided English fishermen with a livelihood for hundreds of years. The Grand Banks are still one of the world's greatest fishing grounds. A shallow ledge of rock reaches out into the Atlantic Ocean from Newfoundland and runs for miles under the surface of the water. Great numbers of small fish are found there. Cod, herring, mackerel, and haddock from the deep waters of the Atlantic come into the banks, as the ledge is called, where food is plentiful. Here, too, they lay their eggs, and the young are hatched. For over 400 years, the fishing grounds of the Grand Banks have provided food to the people of England and for many other countries of Europe. Oh, that's nice. Too bad we're overfishing and we're killing all that stuff, and there's no more fish. Haha. Sucks to be us. After the days of Cabot, valuable furs of beaver and of fox from eastern Canada were shipped each year to England, and they too were a source of great wealth. In times, the fish and furs proved far more valuable than the spices that Cabot had so greatly desired to bring back. The great island of Newfoundland, which Cabot discovered, and which is now a part of Canada, was the first of Britain's colonies overseas, and gave her a claim to territory in the New World. Yay! Go England! Man-made atrocities. Coming to you soon. Oh, there's a picture of the codfish. Let's look at that. There we are. There's our cod. Not Call of Duty, but normal cod there. Cabot reported that these fish were so plentiful that they hindered the progress of the ships. Yeah. So much fucking cod. What a world that was back then. If only we could go back there and maybe prevent people from overfishing. We don't. The best thing to do for the environment is to have a varied variety diet. You shouldn't just eat one thing over and over again. You should be eating multiple different things. And that's the best way to keep the world healthy. is to vary your diet. So no, not just a burger every day. You gotta eat maybe a fish. You gotta maybe eat a goat. Maybe just one day go vegan. I know it's kind of insane. I would never do that personally, but if you're up for the challenge, you should go for it. Okay, so that's let's see here. This little ending part here. Discover the new world. Adventures from Europe discover the new world. Sorry, I had to cough. Over 1,000 years ago, Norse seamen sailed westward from Norway into the rough waters of the Atlantic Ocean and discovered Iceland and Greenland. Later, in the year 1000 AD, the Viking Leif Erikson. We love Leif. We love Leif. We love Leif. And Bjarni, but not Eric the Red. He's fucked. Eric the Red is fucked. Made landing at several points on the shores of North America. Many Vikings sailed to the colony at Vinland, which I'm pretty sure was a... Oh, what was that? Kind of like southern Canada. Some island. Maybe it was Newfoundland, I don't remember. After a time, some of them returned to Greenland and Iceland. Others were killed by the natives in the new... Oh. That's no good. Thus, the Norse settlement in the New World vanished. Christopher Columbus rediscovered the Americas in 1492. For years, he had begged for ships to make a voyage over the Sea of Darkness, as the Atlantic Ocean was then called. Believing that the world was round, he planned to sail westward to reach India and Cathay, which is China. What Columbus did not know was that between Europe and Asia, to the west, lay two great continents. Instead of landing on the eastern shore of Asia, Columbus discovered the West Indies. He made 3 more voyages across the Atlantic Ocean, but he never reached Asia, nor did he bring back shiploads of jewels, gold, and spices. The New World, discovered by Columbus, was named for Amerigo Vespucci. Yeah, he even got fucked by the name. We should be living in Columbus, North Columbus and South Columbus. We live in North America and South America. Kind of sucks. A Spaniard who made several voyages across the Atlantic Ocean. Vespucci discovered that the islands of which Columbus had landed were not off the coast of Asia, but were part of a new continent. In his honor, people called the new land Amerigo, or America. While Columbus was preparing for his 3rd voyage across the Western Ocean, another sea captain, John Cabot, set sail from Bristol, England, to seek a new route to the east. As a result of his discoveries, Britain obtained her first foothold in the New World, the island of Newfoundland. In the years that followed, English fishermen sailed to the Grand Banks of Newfoundland and returned with tons of codfish, providing a new source of food for the British people. A Spaniard, Nunez de Balboa, traveled across the isthmus. Across the Isthmus of Panama, a narrow piece of land which which connects North and South America. He was the first white man to stand on the western shores of America and gaze on the Great South Sea, which was later called the Pacific Ocean. Yeah. Okay, guys. I know there's nobody here, but I'm just going to read it out anyway. Here's our homework. Here's our good old homework. We'll try to complete it, because my memories ain't so good, but we'll try to get it done. Adventures for the Young Explorer. That's us. Or you guys. Or me. Mostly me. For study and discussion. Ooh. I'm going to discuss with nobody right now. But that's okay. Why did the Vikings enjoy living in Vinland rather than Greenland? Fuck. I don't know. It was nicer. It was greener. There was more land. There was more grass and shit. It was less snowy. More trees. Oh, there was trees. Yeah, they didn't have any trees there in Greenland. So they're really happy when they came to Vinland and there was trees. Oh, yeah, lots of good trees there. Why was the King of Portugal not interested in Columbus's plan to sail west to India? I actually don't remember that. So let's see if there's a reason for that. Oh, maybe because that was bullshit. I don't know. Where's it? Oh, Can we find it? Christopher Columbus. No. Columbo. Christopher Columbo. Genoa. Third volume. Columbus had a brother. Yeah, he's got a good brother. Daughter of Prince Captain. Daughter of Prince Henry's captain. Columbus, mapmaker, chill dude. Yeah, I'm not looking for this right now. Oh, Ferdinand, the King of Spain, had refused to assist Columbus, but his wife, she decided to pay for the ships. But why did he refuse it? The King of Ferdinand half-heartedly gave his consent and helped. Okay, so King of Portugal. Oh, so that was the King of Spain. Yeah, Spain. We're defying Portugal. The King of Portugal would not help Columbus with his plans for Portugal, as we have already learned at the time was interested in finding a sea route to India, around Africa. Yeah, so they care more about Africa than they cared about the New World. Which was the right thing to do, because they were right. Columbus lived more than 150 years after the time of Marco Polo. How did he know so much about Marco Polo's travels? Some dude wrote a book about it. Some guy he was a prisoner with, I think. Some idiot wrote a book. And we got the printing press and shit. What were some of the things that... Well, actually, he's not an idiot. He's a smart guy. But, you know what I mean. Well, what were some of the things that Columbus found in the West Indies instead of jewels and spices he had hoped to find? I think there's gold there. What else did he find? I don't know what he found. He found native people. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what he found there. Aline Sheikh. Nice to see you. Thanks for the follow. Hopefully I'm entertaining you. Having a good time. Hey, how you doing? We just finished reading about what were we reading about? We were reading about Discoveries of the New World. Yeah. This is a teaching book from the 1950s. And we're just going over the homework for the young explorer. So we learned about Christopher Columbus. We learned about what else did we learn about? John Cabot, who discovered Canada. And then we also learned about previously we learned about Vikings and stuff. Oh, and he had a really cool furs. Cabot. He found in Canada there. He found he was started the fur trade. How long do I stream usually? Usually about an hour. If I'm playing a video game, maybe about 2 hours. Nothing crazy. I try to keep it kind of short. Yeah. I have a little like display thing on my my channel there, which shows how long it takes until I stream. But I'm not really doing anything concrete right now. Just just having fun, reading books and playing video games. What about yourself? Do you stream yourself? You enjoy any special Twitch people you enjoy? I don't really know much about streaming, so I just started like a few weeks ago. No, I'm just doing it for fun now. I just do when I have free time. So like, when I'm off work or when it's late in the day, I could get it done. It's like the idea is to have like kind of like book discussions and stuff, but nobody's really watching, so it's just me for now. Yeah, so like nothing too serious. You like explorers? Do you like any specific books, short stories? Oh, nice. What books do you read? Yeah, you gotta get a favorite book you got. So right now I'm really enjoying the short stories in this book, in this teacher's manual. It's an ancient teacher's manual. It's very interesting. Not ancient, but like 70 years old. It's pretty old. Also, if you have any like music suggestions, like non-copyright music suggestions, I'll be happy to put them on. Oh yes, let's get back to that. The kind of questions of the book you're supposed to get to the students. Let's see. What were some of the things that Columbus found in the West? Okay, we already did the one. Both Columbus and John Cabot sailed across the Atlantic Ocean to America. With which of these captains would you have chosen to sail? Give 3 reasons for your choice. Ooh. I think I would go stay with Cabot because as we learned previously, Christopher Columbus he just had like a bunch, because nobody really wanted to go on this voyage, so he hired a bunch of like criminals and ne'er-do-wells, so like you know, murderers and thieves. So I wouldn't necessarily want to be on a similar ship as those guys, and they were complaining it the whole time. Like they're really bitching to Columbus, so it just sounds like a really rough time. Whereas Cabot, like he sailed out from Bristol, like the south of England. I think there's a map right there. I have a map. Yeah, here it is. So we can see Columbus's route in the dotted red line. So we went from Palos, or was it St. Palos? I'm not quite sure. He went there, and he went to the Canary Islands, and he went to the West Indies, which is the Bahamas. Whereas Cabot, he went straight from Bristol all the way to Newfoundland, and Newfoundland's a very nice place. There's lots of trees, there's lots of moose, and I really like moose, so you know I'd rather go with Cabot on that voyage. Look at the pictures of the ships on page 15, 30, 65, and 93. Oof, I don't think I have those pictures. That's too bad. Which of these ships look the most seaworthy? What are your reasons for your choice? I don't think I have any pictures of ships right now, but I would not know the difference between the ships. I know that you want to be on a newer ship that's made new, and a bigger one too, because the bigger it is, less likely you are to get seasick on a ship. So that's what I would do. What pictures do I have? Oh, I do have a picture of a ship right here. The Matthew. Oh yeah, this is the ship that Cabot used. It's a British ship. This one looks pretty nice actually. It looks like the Spanish or Portuguese caravels that Prince Henry was helped invent. So yeah, I'll go on Cabot's ship. Yeah, I'll go on this one. There was Columbus had 2 smaller ships that kind of stink. They're stinky little tiny ships. So I'd definitely go with Cabot. Within the last 60 years, a canal was made across the isthmus of Panama. Why was the canal built? Oh, that's the Panama Canal, and they built that in 1914. So that's over 100 years actually now. But this book is from the 50s, so we'll forgive it. So they built it because if you're able to connect because the Americas are so big, and they're connected by land like the whole way through. They needed a way to sail their ships like for trade, right? You'd save so much money. You'd be able to sail through the Americas. So they built a giant canal through the Isthmus of Panama, so they could make tons of money traveling between the two, creating another sea route between the continents. So it was a really good idea. And now does America control it? I think America controls it. It used to be like some sort of Panama controlled thing, but now no, America controls it again. That's politics for you, though. In 100 years, who knows who's going to control it? We all may be dead. Who knows? Well, 100 years probably will be dead. But hello, maybe we'll be robots and whatnot. Who really knows? After reading the series, the stories of the men who discovered the New World, what 2 important dates should you remember? Why should you remember these dates? There's really no important dates, truly, in this book. There's nothing that's gonna like change your life if you don't remember it. So I would say the best one, the best date, the best would be 1492, because everybody needs to know that Columbus sailed the ocean blue there. And Cabot, maybe 1499, and so 99 to 92. Oh, maybe Leif, but not so important. Working together, we travel with the Vikings. Might be a good title for the project, the North Sea Rovers. This will require the making of a Viking ship, complete with a mast, a sail, and shields, and figures of the Viking themselves. A backdrop might be made showing one of the Vikings' countries, Norway, Iceland, or Greenland. Discuss the project and talk over what research will have to be done in the class, a library, and at the public library. Decide on the number of groups you will require to carry out this project. Each student should choose the group in which he would like to do. Not they, it's he, because we're in the 1950s. And I'm guessing women aren't allowed to get educations in the 1950s. It was a different time. It was a different time. Ship group. Let's see what the ship group has to do. This group might make a ship out of heavy cardboard. It should be about 1 yard in length from bow to stern. Paint the boat using tempura. Whoa, what's that? Like the food? What the? That's crazy. Let's search up tempura paint. I want to know what that is. Let's find that out. Tempura paint. Tempura is a permanent, fast-drying painting medium consisting of pigments mixed with water, soluble binders, medium using glutinous materials such as egg. Also, it's like an acrylic. Oh, I guess that's why they call it tempura. That's interesting. Hey, learn something new. So tempura is like just like a sticky paste. Yeah. So now I'm pretty sure the Portuguese taught that term to the Japanese, and that's why we have delicious, delectable tempura foods. Thank you, Portuguese, for that one thing. I guess. Thank you, Portugal. Let's discuss the project. Okay, sail group. The sail can be made from a large sheet of brown paper and the mast from a bamboo pole. Where are you gonna find a fucking oh, I guess the hardware store. That's easy. Never mind. Color the sail. What color? Okay. I guess we could do it in the British or Spanish or Portuguese colors. Shield group. Oh no, it's the Vikings, so it'd be Viking colors. The shields might be made of firm cardboard and decorated with different region designs. A Viking figure group. You might make the framework of a figure using strong wire and then cover it with either cotton batting or pieces of foam rubber. Over the doll, stretch light brown nylon stocking material to look like flesh. Oh crap. You might add woolen hair and an embroidered face. See how lifelike your figures are when they are dressed. I guess that people had a lot of time in the 50s because this sounds like a lot of work that I don't want to do. I'd rather just play on my iPhone. If I'm like a teenager or a young kid in school, I'm like, oh, I'd rather just play on my phone. Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox. Backdrop group. On a very large piece of paper, a scene in Norway, Iceland, or Greenland might be sketched and colored as a suitable background for the ship. When your project, We Travel with the Vikings, has been completed, display it in your school library, in the hall of or the auditorium of your school. Okay. And we're not doing that, but that's good to know that we have that option. Books we will enjoy reading. Leaf the Lucky. I would enjoy actually reading more about Leaf. Leaf the Lucky by Perrin du Ollerov. Double Day. A fascinating story and colorful pictures of life. Leif Erikson. Thunders of the Gods by Dorothy Hosford. A very readable story of Old Norse sagas. That also sounds good. All these books sound nice. He Went with Christopher Columbus by Louis Andrews Kent. A boy travels to the New World with Columbus. Christopher Columbus by Alberta Powell Graham. An easy read story about Columbus. Reading to Find Out. Pictured Geography Series. This series of small geography books has simple maps and many colored pictures. Some of the titles are Canada, Panama, West Indies, Iceland, and Newfoundland. A play to perform. Living History book, number 3 by Lucy E. Turnbull. A good play about Christopher Columbus. Sound films you may enjoy. The Soundies. The Talkies. Iceland, Land of the Vikings. Icelandic Village, Transportation Iceland, Land of the Vikings. An Icelandic Village, Transportation, Clothing the People and their Sports. That sounds cool. Christopher Columbus. Highlights in the life of Columbus. Panama, Crossroads of the Western World. Scenes show what Panama is like today. But I'm guessing it's the 1950s, so it's more like 70 years ago. West Indies. Scenes show the islands, the people, and the products they ship to the other lands. And that's the story. Thank you, Eileen or Elaine. I don't know how to pronounce that. You're somebody. And I appreciate you showing up and giving me a little chat, even though it was short. So hope you see you later. Yeah, I hope everybody has a good night, sleeps well, and I'll see you later. And if you have any interesting show and tells about Vikings, Christopher Columbus, Newfoundland, anything about Bristol too. If you take pictures of Bristol, show me what that's like. You know. So yeah, I think that's it. I think we'll end the stream there. And got a Discord. I got a Twitter. They're kind of disjointed. Everything's kind of disjointed. So if you want to, pop in and say hi, and that'll do. Okay, bye bye.